Civil 3D makes it easy to calculate average end area earthwork volumes between two surfaces. In fact, there's no limit to the number of surfaces allowed to participate in a volume calculation. In this session, we'll learn how to define subcriteria. Subcriterias allow volume calculations to be extracted from areas defined by multiple surfaces. Let's take a look. Real quick, before we jump in, let me mention that if this is your first time using Civil 3D to calculate average end area material volumes, I have recorded a video that walks through the basics of that process, and I've put a link to the video down in the description. I would strongly recommend watching that video first and then come back and watch this one. Okay, let's take a quick tour of the drawing. On my screen, I have a proposed roadway design. If we zoom in and hover over the corridor, we can see it's called Road A. If we pan the drawing over, we'll find a profile view showing us the design profile that was defined for the Road A alignment. And if we pan the drawing up, we will find a series of draft section views that I created for this project. Note that there are several surfaces defined in this model. One is right here, that is the datum surface representing the bottom of the proposed roadway design. I also have the existing ground surface, and I have a pair of subgrade surfaces representing unsuitable material. One is called Unsuitable 1, and the other is called Unsuitable 2. Now these could be anything. They could be peat, they could be rock. Generally speaking, I've got unsuitable material in the area of my proposed roadway design. My goal is to calculate the volume of excavation of unsuitable material, whether it's Unsuitable 1, 2, or both. I'll do that by creating a custom material defined from multiple surfaces and subcriteria. To make things easy to see, I'll open the In-Canvas menu and I'll come down to Viewport Configuration List and choose 2 vertical. And then in this view on the right, I'm going to pan around and find a cross-section that represents kind of a worst-case scenario. I'll use this one, 8+00. This one has a lot of excavation. I will then click in this view on the left, and we'll pan the drawing back over to the corridor model. And to do the computation, I will select one of these sample lines. From the contextual ribbon, I'll choose Group Properties. Here on the Material List tab, I will define that custom material. I'll do that by clicking Add New Material. Whenever you create a new material in Civil 3D, as a courtesy, it's added to a material list. Let's name that. I'll click to get access to the text, and I'll call this Excavate Unsuitable. I will then name my custom material. I'll click on that, and we'll call this Removal. Note that this is going to be a cut material. If I click to open the menu, you can see that we do have other options. I can also assign a cut factor or refill factor, and I can assign a shape style. The shape style represents the hatch pattern that will be applied in the section views. Now I already have a style created. I'm going to choose this one called Section Cut. And just to give you an idea what this looks like, I'm going to click the Edit button. Here on the Information tab, you can see the name of that style. On the Display tab, what I'm saying here is that when this shape style is viewed in the cross-section, I would like to see an area fill displayed. I would like it to be red. I'd like the fill placed on this layer. Here's the hatch pattern I'd like to use and the scale, in the event you'd like to create a similar style. I'll click OK and OK. Next, we'll define the sectional areas that represent the custom material. I'm going to start with the area in here. This would be defined by everything above the datum surface and below Unsuitable 1. I'll select the custom material and choose Add a Subcriteria. I'll click to expand this. There's the subcriteria. Now, I could rename this if I want to. I'm going to keep the default name for right now. When the subcriteria is selected, I will say that this subcriteria is going to be defined using a pair of surfaces. The datum, I'll add that one, and I'll add Unsuitable 1. I will then click to expand this. Subcriteria 1 is going to be everything above the datum and below Unsuitable 1. I will then come down and click Apply. Here's where we can see the hatch pattern showing me exactly the areas that'll be computed. This looks good. Now let's grab this area. I'm going to say this is everything above the datum, above Unsuitable 1, and beneath Unsuitable 2. I'll come back and select the material, and we'll create another subcriteria. I'll select the subcriteria, and subcriteria 2 is going to be defined using 3 surfaces, the datum, Unsuitable 1, and Unsuitable 2. I will then expand this, and we'll say that subcriteria 2 represents everything above the datum, above Unsuitable 1, and below Unsuitable 2. Once again, I'll come down and click Apply, and we'll look at the changes. Notice what happened. As soon as I added a second subcriteria incorporating that third surface, Civil 3D recognized my desire to be very strategic selecting these areas, and it prevented the first material area from occupying 2 distinct places. Not a problem, we will reselect this area using a new subcriteria. I'll come back and select the material. We'll add the subcriteria. I'll select that, and subcriteria 3 is going to be defined using 3 surfaces: the datum, unsuitable 1, and unsuitable 2. I'll expand this. Subcriteria 3 is going to be everything above the datum and below both unsuitable 1 and 2. Let's come down and click Apply. That looks good. I'm going to click OK, which finishes the computation. Note that I can always go back to that dialog box and make additional changes if necessary. For right now, I'm going to click in this view on the right, and we'll pan around and review the other sections. Make sure that I'm not missing any areas of interest. All of this looks great. I'm going to click back in the view on the left where my sample line is still selected, and we'll wrap things up by reporting the total volume of all unsuitable material to be extracted on this project. From the contextual ribbon, I'll choose Generate Volume Report. Looking at the Road A alignment and the Road A sample line group in my Excavate Unsuitable Material list, I will select a style sheet. I'll grab this one called Select Material. This one comes out of the box with Civil 3D. This will format the data in the report. I will then click Yes to accept the scripts. And here in the browser, I can see the volume calculations on a station-by-station basis for the custom material I created that was defined using specific surfaces and subcriteria. In the lower right, we'll find the cumulative total volume of excavated unsuitable material on this project. When I'm finished, I'm going to close the report, and then I will open the in-canvas menu and we'll set this back to a single viewport. If you'd like to explore the subcriteria topic further, I recommend typing subcriteria in the search bar at the top of the screen and press Enter to access help documentation related to this topic. In here, you'll find strategies for using subcriteria in conjunction with multiple surface configurations. So the next time you need to calculate targeted earthwork volumes, try using Civil 3D's subcriteria feature. With a little practice and exploration, you can easily calculate the complex volumes defined from multiple surfaces.